This is a 20-inch piece of pipe. It's for a wood heater for a good friend of mine who built a shop. And so my friend Matt Hayden and I decided to just see what we could make happen here. We don't have any plans or drawings or blueprints or anything, just some ideas and some good equipment to work with.
Get that. Get close. So just part up with that soapstone. Always like sharpen to one side so you can get right up next to it. And with the silver streak, push that in a little bit.
For anyone that doesn't know what this is, it's called a wraparound. It's a pretty much basic tool for any pipe fitter on getting a mark around pipe, but it can do so much more than that. When you get your pressures dialed in, you can use quite a standoff with oxypropane or in fact oxyacetylene. Not necessarily that you'd want to do that all the time, just kind of messing around. We made a grid template out of cardboard out of the inside diameter and kind of marked it off where the grate's going to go so we could get dimensions on where to cut the bar stock for the grates. Wrote down each dimension and then went over to the iron worker and popped those out real quick. We want to get the grate welded in as well as the end caps welded all in before we cut the doors so that the doors don't spring and egg shape and all that stuff. So that's the reason for us having to reach up in here and do the grate first like this. I think it was a smart move though. Dual shield flux core. Basically we're using about 25 volts, 250 inches a minute with 045 Lincoln wire. I think it's 71M wire. You could use a wide range of settings that would work, but we're going to be doing some thinner stuff later, so we just picked one setting. We're sticking with it all the way through pretty much. For the end pieces, CNC plasma is the way to go. Matt's also got some drawings for some stock hinge pieces in here that he pulled up. He's going to go ahead and cut some of those out. That's a big time saver. Yep, so we're going to have an inch lip over here. Flat piece will be welded to the bottom, and the bottom door is going to be 6 inches right here. We're going to have a, let's see, 6 feet right there. So this is where the grating is going to go. Top of the grating is going to be right here. The bottom of the top door will be here, and the top there, so it'll be a 12-inch door. Okay. Dual shield flux core is a very forgiving process when you need to weld over a little light rust or mill scale or something like that. You can do a little push angle, you can do a little pull angle, you can go straight in. It's very forgiving. Matt's going to show us a little foot shuffle here as he's working his way around this thing. Now that both end pieces are welded in and the grate's all welded in, we'll cut those doors. And it should hold in place. It shouldn't move too much. I feel like if we didn't weld the ends on and the grate in, it would definitely egg shape when we cut these out. I'll speed this up quite a bit here. These don't need to be perfectly straight, but we'd like to get them as straight as possible. We're going to use these doors with some trim material, and so they should fit just fine with that little gap made by the kerf of the cutting torch. back over to the iron worker to cut out some 1/8" stock for the trim pieces. And we'll work that in as we clamp it, get some tack welds on that thing. They don't need to be welded all the way, just quite a few tack welds on them. And that's another good thing about dual shield, is that the tacks seem to hold so much better than short circuit MIG. Every now and then you get a short circuit MIG tack that you think is in there and just pops loose. That typically doesn't happen with dual shield. Time for a little quick fit check. Looks like very little egging or distortion went on. So now it's time to line up and tack weld those hinge pieces. Make sure that everything is swing free and nothing binds up as we open it. Now what we need is some latches that kind of put some pressure on this thing, kind of make sure the door is kind of shut tight. Well, Matt has done one or two of these before. He's got a little method that he uses, and it's worked out well for him. So that's what we're going with. If that turns out to be, for some reason, too light duty and wears out, well, we'll just fix it. I think that thing is going to put off a tremendous amount of heat and keep a 40 by 50 shop warm. That's me and Matt and my good friend Lee, who we built this wood heater for, and I can't say enough about Matt Hayden. Always willing to help. Matt's a great welding instructor and an all-around good man and a good friend.